Hey everybody, it's Q&A time! Q&A! Q&A! I asked for your questions in several places. Hopefully you didn't miss it. I asked on Twitter, Facebook, and also YouTube under the community tab, so I think it came up probably in your subscription feed that I was going to be doing this. I thought this week would be a good week because I'm giving myself this whole like colorful eye challenge. You'll see more about it in Saturday's video, but this thing that I'm doing is keeping me in a certain kind of look all week, and so it's hard to do a lot of other kinds of makeup application or tutorial videos, so I thought this would be a good time. But there are so many great questions, you guys. I'm going to try to get to things that I feel like I've seen asked a lot, and I mean, I first compiled some different things off of Facebook, and one of the most liked comments on there was from Julie, and she was requesting to see makeup on my mom and product recommendations for mature skin. So I totally hear you on that. I think that's really great that so many people are interested in that. I have been playing with some different products on my mom here and there. I think that will be a really fun video and just a nice like kind of ongoing thing to offer here again on my channel. It seemed like once the babies came along, we kind of like any spare time that we had together was kid related, but I think we will definitely make time for that. So thank you for that request. Bethany said, how do you feel about Morphe and ColourPop? I feel like a lot of gurus worship those brands, but I barely hear you talk about them if at all. Love your channel and have been subbed since the beginning. Thank you so much, Bethany. Well, ColourPop is definitely something I've talked about. I have several videos that I've done on the brand. I use different products just here and there sprinkled randomly throughout videos, and I think they've got some really great things, some unique textures, some really affordable products. But thank you for bringing that up because they have released, I feel like, a lot of newer things, and I think a new look at the brand just in general, really focusing in on their products would definitely be a good thing to do. As far as Morphe goes, Morphe is a brand that I just kind of got turned off from really from the beginning because I felt like there was so much hype, and sometimes when things get overly hyped, that's where I sort of start to shrink back from them a little bit because it's just kind of a turnoff to me. And I feel like when the hype is also accompanied by like, use my code for blah blah blah, I wonder, would people be raving about this stuff if there wasn't a code to attach to it? And then like the Jaclyn Hill palette came out, which looks like a fabulous palette and so many people love it, and I think that's great. But at the same time, I saw video after video on it for a period and I thought, do I even have anything else to offer? If you've been with my channel for a long time, you know, like I don't necessarily love to do exactly what everyone else is doing. And to top it all off, until just recently, I haven't felt like I've had a lot of people really asking for my opinion on Morphe. But I've had some very sincere requests from viewers who seem to be very curious about how that line stacks up with other things that I like. So I did place an order and I have a few things, and I will definitely let you know my genuine take on them. You know, if they are great, great. If I don't enjoy them, you know, I'll let you know that too. But yeah, are you guys ever like that? Like you see something getting so much attention, so much hype, and you're almost like, okay, I'll just wait on it. Heather says, how do you feel about getting PR, and has any company been nasty to you for not giving their products positive reviews? I personally don't think I've really had any nasty, mean, super defensive response from any brand. More than anything, I think I've seen some really mature responses from brands, sometimes in the comments of a particular video that I do about them, or a personal email saying like, thank you for taking the time to thoughtfully review these products. You're giving our team some things to think about with our future launches and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool when brands see YouTubers not so much as a vehicle to just spread the word on a product, but also something that they can take feedback away from and actually grow from somewhat. So I think that's really great. But there have been times when I haven't liked a product and I've noticed I've stopped getting PR from a certain company, so they've just like said, nope, not worth it to send her anything anymore, I guess. And that's fine. If I'm interested enough in a product, I will definitely buy it myself. And how do I feel about just getting PR in general? I think it's been a wonderful thing for my channel and doing product reviews and being able to get a full line of lipsticks and try them all on for you and just understand more about this or that product in just a more all-encompassing way. Not that you can't give a quality review having just a few shades of something, because because let's face it, that way of doing things was what my channel was built on basically. But now I feel like when I do have the full range, it allows me to give a more educated opinion. The thing that I don't like is I think when reviewers get swayed by a really elaborate PR package, you know, with so many extra goodies thrown in, let's say, that a viewer would never really have access to. I think we as reviewers have a responsibility to really separate ourselves from that and think, okay, this was nice and fun and beautiful and all, but exactly how good is the product? And Becky says, how, if at all, have your feelings toward your work and your passions changed since you've had your children? I have 2 little ones of my own and find that my perspective on a lot of things has changed. Yeah, I think that's really true. I feel like having kids has actually made me appreciate my passion, which is, you know, makeup, YouTube, all that stuff. I think they've caused me to appreciate it more. I feel so grateful for the time that I have to come up here and work on a video. People say, how do you wake up so early to get started on all this stuff? And it's like, I'm genuinely happy to be doing it. And I knew it like back when I had Belle and like a week had passed and I hadn't done anything on YouTube. And I really felt this feeling inside, like I miss it. I miss getting up there and playing with makeup. And so I think while you have kids and it, you know, they become your world and just your total top priority in life, I think I've come away feeling really grateful that I still have this hobby that's just for me. I'm just really happy about that. And in another sense, they've shaped my perspective in the way that, like, let's say you get a negative comment one day. And sometimes, yes, they do get to me. I'm human, whatever. But generally speaking, if there's some sort of negativity that comes up that I see, I care so much less about that than I used to. It's like having these kids has put into perspective what's really important. It's like I could sit here and worry about this one mean thing that this random person said to me, or I've got these 2 healthy kids playing on the floor right now. Like, what is more important in this world? Having kids, you know, it's like, while I'm excited and love my hobbies and love getting into that stuff, in a sense, it's also made me less about myself in a very good way, because little things that would have gotten under my skin before, now they just don't even make the priority list, and that's a really great thing. Nicole says, I recently moved out of my parents' house and I'm learning how to adult. What's the best advice you can give someone like me? Wow, I'm thinking about the first time when I felt like I really grew into an adult, and it was probably the summer between my junior and senior years of college when I had an internship. And that was one of the first job type things that I'd done that I felt really pushed me as a person. Not just in terms of abilities or like this was a hard sport or this was a hard subject in school, but as my whole who I am as a person. That internship made me become more independent. It was at a newsroom at a TV station. Learn about deadlines. Getting out, like this was before you had like a super smartphone where your GPS would talk you all the way to the place you needed to go. Like they printed me out a map from MapQuest, go find this town, shoot this story, bring it back by this time, write it, edit it, we'll have it on the news by 6. Having that kind of expectation on myself where I really felt like people were definitely relying on me. My job really had importance. You know, it was a small newsroom, small market. They needed me that summer to go out and report. And I guess my point here is that I'm not sure what kind of line of work you're into as you're out on your own adulting, but I hope that it's something that does make you slightly uncomfortable, that does push you out of your comfort zone, because there was nothing like that summer to push me, and it made me come away feeling more independent, more capable, and like I could tackle darn near anything. So Nicole, make sure whatever you're doing is something that challenges you, because I think you will see so much growth from that. And also have fun now before you are, I hate to say tied down, but before babies come into the mix and all kinds of other things that enrich but do inevitably complicate life. Like, have fun, go out, enjoy yourself, live it up, enjoy that freedom. I'm not saying you'll never have freedom again in your life, even if you do get married and have kids or whatever. I mean, life for me now is truly better than ever, but it's different. And so I think we need to enjoy and appreciate every season of life that we're in. So soak it up, have a lot of fun. I would say work hard, play hard. Dawn says, how do you keep your marriage going with 2 littles? Also, is having your parents closer so much better? Do you ever have bad parenting days? And where do you see yourself, your channel in 5 years? Lots of good questions. I feel like once you have kids, you have to have just such a high level of confidence in your relationship, because there are a lot of things that take the attention off of just, the two of you. And you've got to be able to look back at that relationship with your husband and think, maybe we don't have as much alone time as we once had before. Of course we don't. We just can't go out on as many dates or do all these different things. But I know how he feels about me, and I know how much he cherishes me. And that knowledge really helps to keep things going. Also, make sure you know what your love language is, and make sure your significant other knows too, because I think that sorts out a lot of things as well. For example, my top love language is words of affirmation. So the way love is most effectively communicated to me is through words. And so Tyler is aware of this, and that is not his top love language. So when yours is different from your spouse, there's a little learning that has to take place. His number one love language, I think, is quality time. So for me, I think he's come to realize how much it means to me to send me a text message out of the blue, love you so much, thinking about you, or just something little like that goes a long way for me, because that's my love language. So I think it's about having that knowledge, making the effort, even in small ways. And don't you guys also think that it's just the recognition of, this is the season of life that I'm in right now, and I've got the confidence that this person is my person, he's in my corner, he loves me more than anything. But some of the things that we used to do are going to have to take a little bit more of a backseat, and that can be okay. It's having your parents closer so much better. Yes, my mom and dad, it was toward the end of last summer, midway through last summer, they bought a house down here near us, and it's been absolutely amazing. They also still have their house in my hometown, and they go back there frequently, and they see other family, and there's time spent there as well. But it's kind of this mutually awesome thing where they can, see and spend time with their two youngest grandkids who are going through so many life changes at all times. It's amazing to see that from my perspective, and to have their helping hands at times has allowed me to do some big things behind the scenes that you haven't even seen yet on my channel. But it was just one of those things where when they decided that that was something they wanted to do, it was like all the dominoes just started falling so easily, and everything just happened so seamlessly and nicely, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful thing. Do I ever have bad parenting days? Yes, ma'am. I have days where I think, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I seriously, two little kids, one is 3, one is 1. There are days where things magically run like a well-oiled machine, and I'm like, gosh, I could handle a few more of these. And then there are days where I am like, dear God, can I just go to the bathroom alone? Can I finish my coffee? Can somebody stop needing something every 2 minutes? There are hard days. There are days when I lose my cool. There are days where I have to sit back and think gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Yeah, if anybody wants to tell you they don't have a bad parenting day, then be very wary of that person. And where do I see myself or my channel in 5 years? I want my channel to keep going. I want to be able to reach more people. I'm not giving myself any kind of number milestone that I must meet by some certain time, because I think that sucks the life and fun out of everything. Numbers really do. I mean, honestly, I just want to keep doing what I love, hopefully getting better and better at it. Above all else, I hope I have 2 kids who are healthy and happy, and gosh, by that time, both in school. Jamie says, do you think Tyler will ever quit his job and stay home with you and the kids since YouTube has become your career? No. I mean, Tyler has his own career, and that is a really attractive thing to me. I love that what I do, while he's been very supportive of it, has been part of it in many ways over the years. It's been a great thing for our family and just our whole dynamic, this flexibility of YouTube. I love that it hasn't dictated really what he's wanted to do with his life. I like that he's got his own goals. He's an attorney. His mentor, the attorney he works with, is just a fabulous example for him. Highly respected, incredibly skilled, and it brings me so much joy to see him in his arena doing well, excited about it, continually learning, doing great things. That is attractive to me. That feeds me when I see that in a person. My thing doesn't have to be his thing, and I like looking at his thing and thinking, you know what, how in the world is he dealing with some of these topics that he's coming home and telling me, he's working on this, he's working on that. How in the world? I have so much respect for him and what he does, and I love that it's his. I'm insanely proud of the work that he's done, the dues that he has paid in his career, and it's just fun to see him grow grow and grow in that, both in his job and as a person. Lindsay says, what's been the hardest thing balancing life with two instead of one? I feel like I've had that question a lot with a husband and work, or I guess how do you balance it? We've got 2.5 and 7 months, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. is pure survival mode. Thank you for your videos. It's crucial mama time. Thank you so much for making me part of those sacred minutes of your day where you have some time to watch a video. The hardest thing going from 2 to 1, I think, is just, it's very physically demanding. I thought that the change from going from no kids to 1 kid was a real emotional thing for me. I felt like I had this whole leap of emotional growth as a person, and just realizing how much our life would be completely turned on its head. That was a huge emotional leap. And then with 2, it's like you know what's coming, basically. You understand the demands that a new baby brings on your life, but it's more like just the physical grind, like actually physically keeping up with both, like you're feeding one. I remember the hardest times were when I was like feeding Belle a meal, you know, like regular little food. And then I've got this crying newborn where you still gotta like support the neck and everything. It's like she needs to nurse and I'm trying to get food for Belle. Like that was so hard. And now I've got new like hard stuff in terms of Eve being 1 and walking and trying to do like every dangerous thing in the book. With 2, it's about like the physical demands on you, the stamina. Like you said, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I so get that. You reach that hour of the day where you're like, Tyler, when are you coming home exactly? Because I am done. But as a whole, I mean, once you get out of that delicate newborn stage, I think that was the hardest thing, was having a toddler who was running around doing everything and then having this delicate newborn. Once they get out of that and they're moving more, they're playing more, I'm seeing so much more ease just in playtime between the 2. Granted, Belle will, you know, have her little people set up just so, and then Eve wants to come over and like whack them all over. But all in all, they can relate to each other a little bit more, and they can have a little bit more interactive playtime as time's going on. And that's really, really fun to see. So I have seen things steadily get easier as that second baby becomes able to handle a little bit more, do more. Christine says, Emily, you're a YouTube OG. How do you feel about the way YouTube is changing? Do you feel like there is competition amongst beauty YouTube channels? Love you. I'm a longtime fan and never miss a video. Thank you so much, Christine. As far as competition among beauty channels, yeah, I think there's competition in the sense that people can only ingest so much video content in one day. Like there's only so many minutes in the day, so they can't watch everybody. Even if you really like set in for an entire day of YouTube watching, you still couldn't watch it all. So yeah, I do think we're somewhat competing for people's time. But in the same sense, I find YouTube to be a very flexible thing in that, you know, we're not just live for a little bit. You know, our videos are out there, and if somebody doesn't watch it on the day it comes out, that's fine. They might stumble upon it a couple weeks later and then maybe watch 4 or 5 videos of yours in a row, and that's just what's going to happen. And you see channels with massive growth on YouTube, and you see obviously a lot of interest from people in watching YouTube videos, and this is a good thing. And I'm a highly like just competitive person kind of by nature. Just generally speaking, if you want to play hide and seek with me, like I will find the place in the house that nobody else will look. I will always win in that game. I get so into watching sporting events. I am like, once you engage me in something, I'm in it. I'm in the moment and I'm in it. But one thing I'm really able to see here as far as the YouTube landscape goes, talking, you know, having been on this for 10 years, it's good to see that there is such an interest in YouTube and channels are blowing up all the time, and that's great because that shows us that the presence is there from the viewers. And let's just throw out a name here. Let's say somebody came to YouTube and discovered YouTube beauty videos through Jeffree Star, and then maybe because of him, maybe they're searching through YouTube and they happen to stumble across me. Think of it like your channel is a store in a mall. It's very encouraging to see a lot of foot traffic going through that mall because there's a chance some of it's going to come over to you. So we as creators should all want to see great growth happening among YouTube channels, and hopefully that carries over to our own, because the more people who are out there on their YouTube apps and on their computers watching, you know, there's that chance that maybe they'll find you. One thing that I might complain about a little bit, I think, in terms of the YouTube landscape, the changing landscape, you do have some some massive channels. And I feel like sometimes these people are a little bit out of touch with what else is happening on YouTube. Like you'll see people with millions of subscribers getting on Twitter and complaining about this or that, or like I remember seeing a tweet a while back, I don't even remember who, and they were talking about what a negative and terrible space the beauty community on YouTube is and how he really feels bad for anybody who's part of that. I was left feeling like, how out of touch and sort of, I hate to say arrogant can you be to think that that's the only layer of what's happening here, because there are God knows how many thousands of smaller channels out there who are putting out amazing content, have supportive viewership bases. Like, I'm not out there to be the biggest YouTuber in the world. And I may have had that goal float through my mind at some point in my earlier years, but now I feel like I'm really in a place where I want people to view me who want to be there, who want to take in what I have to say, not who just felt like it was the fad to subscribe to me, so okay, they'll sit and reluctantly watch for a while. Like, I want people who are in it and share my same level of passion for this, and those are the people who I want showing up to my party, you know? I want people who are receptive and enjoy my message. Gosh, I don't even remember what the question was, but I guess my point here is that there's a ton of fabulousness happening on YouTube. One thing that I almost wish people could do is, like, imagine if your numbers were erased, if nobody could see what your subscriber count was, if nobody could see how many views your videos have, or how many thumbs up or thumbs down that you have. Like, how would you feel about your content then? Like, think about that. How would it just personally make you feel? Would you feel like you are doing your best job? I wish people with really large followings would just open their eyes and look around and see just how much real kind of old school, so to speak, YouTube is still out there and is really being appreciated, I think, by viewers who kind of long for the OG days. So that was just a handful of questions from Facebook. I'm gonna have to make this be kind of a multi-part thing, and I think that'll be cool. Like, I can sprinkle in, you know, a video like this every now and then. I will definitely be addressing the Twitter and the YouTube questions that I had also. So thank you guys so much for your time. Your feedback, your kindness is so important to me. It says so much more about you than it does about me. So many sweet comments that I came across, and I just thought, these people have a light. These people are letting their light shine. Like, they have positivity, they have love for themselves, and they're able to share that love. That's what it says about you, and I love you for that. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.